we stopped here at what we understand to be the world's largest cuckoo clock.
And you can stay on the paved path if you want to, or get a little more rough and rugged if you'd also like that.
Okay, we got confused. We somehow took a turn that got us onto a non-paved path.
This looks like the kind of village you're looking for when you come to the Black Forest.
This is just dreamy.
But you kind of feel like you're in a fairy tale. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe.
Today, we have come to a place that we have been really wanting to come see since we got to Germany, and that is the Black Forest. This is a world famous place, and we're so excited for, of course, all the touristy things like the cuckoo clocks, the Black Forest cake, the Black Forest ham, and just the beautiful nature. But what we really want to do is try to pack in as much as we can in this short little weekend and see as many cute little Black Forest towns as possible.
So today we are going to go check out Germany's tallest waterfalls, see if we can find some cuckoo clocks, and also we are then going to go see tomorrow the jewel of the Black Forest, Triberg. So let's go check out the Black Forest and see what we can find. So we're starting our morning off in Triberg, or you can tell me if I'm saying it German correctly. I think it's Triberg, but we are walking along the tallest waterfalls in Germany. So we were already in Berchtesgaden and we saw the tallest waterfall in Germany, but some friends that we were with said that they thought they had just seen the tallest waterfall in Germany here in the Black Forest. So they're confused on what that meant. But I think what I've discovered is that this one is the tallest waterfalls, plural, in Germany, and it's just a series of waterfalls tumbling down a very long stretch of mountainside here in the Black Forest. So we have come here to walk along the waterfalls, but one thing I didn't expect is one, it's like right in the city. So you don't have to like hike deep into the woods or anything, which is kind of convenient, but two, you also have to pay to come in and see it. It's not like you're just walking into the forest and you're suddenly come upon these waterfalls. It's kind of like a nature park. So we had to pay €6 per adult to actually get in here and see the waterfalls, which I feel like is a little bit expensive, but they do have really nice paths, very well maintained. Which way do we go? So on the board here you can see on the left we have comfortable, flatter, but then on the right we have steeper, more difficult.
I mean, is the more difficult faster? Or should give like an amount of time for each one? Maybe we do more difficult going up, leisurely on the way down. So there are signs posted everywhere that masks are required in this whole waterfall area. And as you can see, it's all outside in the woods. And there's not a whole lot of people in this area right now. So everyone seems to be pulling them up as we pass each other and then pulling them back down while we're walking around. I think this is a sight that you cannot miss while you're here. You do have to pay to get in, but the path is paved the entire way. It's a pretty easy walk and it's beautiful. You get right up next to the waterfall. You get to walk over it. I think it's gorgeous, and the nature, of course, is awesome. So gotta come here if you're in Triberg. The paving stops here.
So the path goes from like pavement to gravel to now it's almost like you're walking up kind of like a rock waterfall-y path. A lot of it does seem really easy if you have like strollers and things. Some of it gets a little more extreme, a little more rugged than we expected coming up here. But one thing that we love about the falls here is the colors and the leaves changing here all in the woods. It is beautiful. So far the Schwarzwald, the Black Forest, is very dark green, which kind of gives it that like black forest feel, just the darkness of it. But right now with the leaves all changing, oh, the yellows, the oranges, all of it is so beautiful and really adds to seeing the waterfalls. So just for reference, if anybody wants to know, we are here in mid-October, and that seems to be when the colors are changing and really bright and vibrant. We don't know if it gets more bright and vibrant deeper into the fall, or if it's always the same, but it's kind of a reference point if you want to see it in the fall colors.
Okay, we got confused. We somehow took a turn that got us onto a non-paved path, but there's so many different trails. We're back on the main path that is paved the entire way up to the top of the falls. There is a way to stay on the paved path.
Yeah, there's just so many different trails that you can take here that goes through all different parts. There are waterfall portions of the trails and some that also take you away from the waterfall. I think just deeper into this nature park that we are in. So just pay attention to the signs, unlike us. And you can stay on the paved path if you want to, or get a little more rough and rugged if you'd also like that.
So it does look like this is a huge nature park, and you can do a hike that's even 31 hours long. So the €6 would probably be worth it if you're planning on doing that humongous hike. But we do think that just for this little thing like we did today, just going and seeing the waterfall and coming back, that took like, we just did about 30 minutes, an hour or so. That seems a little expensive to us, but.
Still worth it?
Oh yeah, I still think very worth it. I'm glad we came.
So here's the thing about Triberg, is that it is very, very touristy, and all of the gift shops everywhere have a bunch of different languages all over it, and that's kind of our little test for how touristy a place is if it doesn't just have German and English, but it also has like Arabic and Chinese and Japanese, and it's like they're really catering to all the tourist groups, which is great. But that's kind of our test to see how touristy a place is. So this is a very touristy city, and it's pretty in its own way, but the waterfalls are worth it, and there's lots of cuckoo clock shops here, but a lot of them seem manufactured, not handmade. There's a couple of handmade shops here that we've kind of walked past, but we're gonna move on to some other little villages and try to find some really legit cuckoo clocks and some other really beautiful parts of the Schwarzwald.
On our way to the next village, we stopped here at what we understand to be the world's largest cuckoo clock. And here you can just put a coin in the slot, and then it'll do all kinds of fun things with these figurines.
So honestly, it's a little bit confusing to figure out. I'm not 100% sure this is the world's biggest cuckoo clock, because also in Schiltach, near Triberg where we were staying, there was the world's first biggest cuckoo clock, but I guess it was replaced in 2000 by a different world's biggest cuckoo clock. But a lot of the places around here are very touristy, and so they have a lot of these kind of gimmicks to get you in and see the cuckoo clocks. So this may not be the biggest one. There's probably other big ones that you can also find, as well as the first biggest one in Schiltach. So not entirely sure. It's kind of like the waterfalls. The biggest one in Berchtesgaden, but then there's the biggest waterfalls. Highest waterfalls here. Very confusing to me. So about 40 minutes away from Triberg, we drove up to Schiltach. Now this is more of the type of village that I think you're looking for in the Black Forest. Right deep in the woods, and then amazing old feel and architecture. beautiful half timber frame buildings, beautiful river running right through it and by it. This is a pretty ideal Black Forest.
We stopped into a cute little cafe in the middle of town, got lunch, and then of course had to get some Black Forest cake. And if you haven't had that before, it is chocolate, cherries, liqueur, and cream. And then now we're walking around the town. It is just so cute. So many beautiful half timber buildings, really colorful ones too. So it's really fun to look at those. And now we're at this pretty overlook of the city and the mountains. I'm very content. This is just dreamy.
So I don't really know what I expected coming into the Black Forest. This is our first time in the Black Forest. I kind of half expected when we got here to honestly be a little bit disappointed. I thought we would get here and it would just feel like a forest. I mean, we've all been in forests and walked and hiked. So that's kind of what I expected, is to get here and be like, yeah, I mean, it feels like any other forest. But I definitely have to say, to me, there's something unique about it. It's very dark, and it could just be putting it on because it's the Black Forest, but the trees look very dark and there just seems to be something just special to it. So we do kind of feel a little bit alpine-y. There's a little bit of kind of a Swiss feel to it, which I love, but also like old German. And then, you know, there's so many fairy tales and things that take place in the Black Forest, like Hansel and Gretel and such, that you kind of feel like you're in a fairy tale, especially in these small, perfectly quaint German cities or villages. So I really, really recommend it. I really love it. I've been very pleasantly surprised with how, just, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I've just been very, very pleasantly surprised with it. And just like, yeah, how fairy tale and beautiful it is.
So I think we've pretty much seen the main parts of this town. We walked through the old town. There is a pharmacy museum, there's the old rat house, and a few other little museums here and there. So there are definitely things you can go see and do here, but mostly it just feels like a really peaceful town. It doesn't feel as touristy as Triberg, and there's this river that's just so calming, and the woods all around. And the town itself, I mean, I'm sure it is a tourist town. People want to come see how beautiful it is, but it just feels more authentic to me. So Donnie and I are already planning our next trip here to come and just relax at a B&B and just chill for a weekend. This sounds like a great place to just relax. Our tour of the Black Forest has now brought us to a city that has a completely different feel than the others that we saw earlier today. This one is definitely more of a big city feel with also a really cute old town. So we're gonna leave it at that, and we are going to show you this city in our next video.
Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and also subscribe, because we would love to continue showing you all of our experiences and travels here in Germany, as well as more of the Black Forest in our next video.
Cheers!
The Black Forest. What else was I gonna say?
Was I supposed to say that with you?
Is sharing all of our experiences living, dang it.
Living. So excited for, of course, we're so excited, but today our list, but what we
Action.
So